Hi there, it's Anne here at LifeLDC. This is my YouTube channel, which is all about knitting. I'm coming to you from Southern Ontario, Milton area, just outside of Toronto in Canada. And today we're outside because after 3 weeks of really intensive heat here, it's an absolutely gorgeous day, so there was no way I was going to stay indoors. I've got my agenda here of things I want to cover today. There's going to be a little bit of natter. I'm going to talk about my most recent finished object. And I have a new cast on that I'm just going to share with you. And also, I want to celebrate my channel reaching the 1,000 subscribers level. I want to say thank you to each and everyone who is a subscriber. I know I am a very specific channel. I have my favorite things that I talk about, and one of those favorite things, which has been with me almost my entire adult knitting life, is Rowan yarns. You might know that I am a Rowan ambassador, and what that means is they send me booklets and stuff so that I can review them, and I'm very happy to do that. I pick the ones that I love, the designs or something special about them, and those are the ones I ask to get copies of to review. So I also asked them if they would be kind enough to contribute something to my subscribers as a 1K subscriber giveaway, and they did. So I'd like to, during this time, I'm going to put 3 little questions up on the screen, and when you get to the end, when I get to the end of my video blog today, what I'll do is I will show you the 2 prizes that I've got here. One's from Rowan, one is from me. If you answer those 3 questions below, each question you answer will be an individual entry. So if you answer all 3, you'll get 3 entries. If you just know one entry, whatever. So and I will decide, by the time I've got to that point in this broadcast, I'll have decided when the date will be when I will actually do that drawing. Okay, so let's get down to the natter. The big news for us Rowan fans is that magazine 68, the autumn winter magazine for 2020-21, is going to be delayed. Just like everything else, COVID has taken its toll, and I guess the production of that magazine has been held up. So watch out for your magazine on September 1st, whether it's in your mailbox or at your local yarn store. There's probably gonna, I love the winter magazine even more than the summer magazine, so I'm always anticipating the winter magazine to see what's going to happen there. Also, there's something coming up from Rowan. It's going to be released on August the 1st. You will have heard about this if you are on the Rowan newsletter, and it's a scarf that Lisa Richardson designed. And that pattern is going to be a free pattern on Knit Rowan, and you'll be able to knit the scarf. It's sort of a little something to keep you busy while you're waiting for the magazine. As knitters, do we actually need anything to keep us busy? Not really. We've got tons of stuff to do, but I appreciate it that there's going to be a special scarf available to keep us busy that month while we're waiting for the new magazine to come out. So look forward to that. So I just wanted to say a little thing about why I love Rowan, and it leads into my finished object. I've been collecting Rowan since my first Rowan magazine that I picked up in an actual yarn store was magazine 11, and I'd have to figure out what year that was. It might have been 88. Anyway, long time ago. And I've been collecting them ever since. At one point I had them all, had a little bit of a brain fart one day and sold them. Then I recollected them all again. most of them anyway. So I have a fair collection of from 30 something on. I have them all, and before that I have quite a good collection. But anyway, I love Rowan, and I'll tell you why. Rowan are design leaders. They have the most beautiful yarns, and they design specifically for their yarn. If you choose to sub, that's fine. There's a big conversation going on in the internet world right now about subbing for yarns, and that's fine. If you want to sub, you can sub, but if you want to get the best result for the project, it's always a good idea to use the yarn that it's designed in. So having that thought in mind all these years, I, as a Rowan knitter, have collected, acquired, stashed specific yarn packs for designs, and one of them was this sweater that I'm wearing right now. So as an example, my current project is a project from Rowan 41. Now this was, it's a spring summer collection. The odd numbers are spring summer, the even numbers are autumn winter, and it was published, this is the 2007 collection. And when this came out, I absolutely fell in love with, and I'm not sure how to say this word. It is called Rawan, R-H-I-A-N-W-A-N, Rawan. And I loved it. I'll put a picture in here so that you can see it better. I love long coats. I love this. I love the look of it. It was in Summer Tweed back in 2007. Not sure what I was knitting, but it was a highlight, but I didn't acquire the yarn at the time. Then in 2011, I'm in my local yarn store, which is sadly now closed, but it's a local yarn store here in Milton. There on the shelf is this yarn pack, and it's all the yarns that were needed for this design. I think there was one substitution, but it looked good, and the main issue was having enough of the denim color for the whole coat, because it's a long coat. I think I needed 17 skeins. Anyway, so I bought it, but it came home and it went into my stash yet again. Here another, so we're talking about 2011 to this year, 9 years. So earlier this year, when I was doing my stash happy reorganization of my stash, I came across this yarn pack, and I thought, I think it's time. I think it's time for that Rowan Summer Tweed to come out and play. And so that's exactly what I did. I got out my needles, and I made some notes, and I cast on and finished Rawan. So this sweater is stocking stitch. It has a section of stripes in it. There is body shaping, and one of the shaping starts actually in that stripe section. So I was really, really good about reading the pattern as I was knitting the back, as we, start with the back as we do. And I did all the shaping, and then I thought, wow, that was great. I knitted up in, I think it was a week. And then I cast on for the fronts. I put them on my needles, 2 pieces together, so that I would be doing the same thing at the same time. I zoomed up past the 30 centimeters of plain denim and got into the stripes. I finished the stripes, and I thought, wow, great. And then I looked at it, and I realized I hadn't done the decreases in the stripes. So I ripped it back and re-knit, and by the time when I got to the top of the stripes, I counted my stitches, and I was 1 off on one side. Moral of the story, number 1, always read your pattern, and then read it again. Read it in between doing pieces so you can remember things that you might have forgot from the first piece you did. And number 2, always stop periodically and count your stitches, and make sure you have enough stitches on your needles. Now, one stitch is no big deal, but I couldn't stand it, so I started researching it and looking and holding it up and seeing if I could see a hole, or had I dropped a stitch, or had I knitted 2 stitches together, what had I done? And what had happened is I needed to join on another skein of the denim just a couple of rows before the end of that denim section, and in doing the knot, somehow it took two edge stitches and put them together, and so I lost a stitch there. So I had to I had to rip back all my stripes and re-knit the stripe section, but it was well worth it. I felt happy, and I carried on up the front, because then I had increases out the side of the body, and I had to incorporate the wide V-neck of this sweater. This sweater has a very wide neck, and when you look at the picture, you can see it's sort of meant to be worn with it back off your shoulders a little bit, so that not off your shoulders, back on your shoulders. If you pull it forward, the front of it tends to open out. You have to make it sit back, and the sweater lies perfectly. One of the things I did notice too on the Rowan styling was that they didn't worry about the fact that the stripes didn't line up perfectly, and I sort of like that, and it made me be really confident at not worrying about the way the stripes were going to match up. And I tried everything. I tried a pin, I tried a shawl pin, I tried a big kilt pin, a Rowan kilt pin. I tried one of those jewel leather claspy things that was just too heavy, and eventually I just decided to go with I-cord ties. Do you want to see it? Today I've got it on with wide-legged jeans, and this is the same top that I've got some video here I'll insert. I always take my styling cues from the way Rowan styled it, and to me it looked like a linen top, long sleeve linen top, and linen pants, wide linen pants with this long coat over top. I like it with the sleeves sticking out. I've also tried it with a tank top. I thought that would do really well. I've got a picture here. I sort of set up my styling options, and I thought the tank top would do well, but it means that there's too much space up here at the neck. This jacket needs something with a collar underneath it, and even if you had a sleeveless top underneath it, it needs to have a collar, so that it gives this section of the sweater some shape. So I did manage to do that. I'm just checking my notes here to see if there's anything that I forgot. No, I'll insert some pictures of the styling options that I thought of. Nope. So this coat is something that I think maybe one of the reasons I didn't knit it is maybe I didn't understand where I would wear it, but this extreme heat wave has shown me, you're in air conditioning in the house. Eventually you start to feel cold in the house, and you need to put something on. You put the temperature up a degree, and the house starts to warm up a little bit, but a light summer weight coat is great to have to wear around in the house. It's also great to wear in the car when you're popping into the grocery store, because the grocery stores are freezing, especially around the outside where the refrigerated aisles are, and I spend a lot of time in there looking at yogurts and cheeses and everything else. So it's great to have a coat, and it's not the fact that you've got the coat on actually keeps the rays of the sun off you, and it actually is a little bit cooling. I wouldn't wear it out for a walk in the heat of the day, but for a little bit of cooling effect, it does keep the sun's rays off of you. So I have had a light bulb moment. Summer knits are good. It's taken me a long time. I got into linen with the pure linen craze a few years ago, and I knit a few tops in pure linen, but I think maybe I need to knit some either some Summer Light Fine or Summer Light DK. That might be in my future. I'm working on an idea to do with that. Well, okay, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about the Summer Light. In this book, this is another reason why I love Rowan magazines in particular. You can always find things that maybe at the time you weren't interested in or whatever, but they're planted, the seed is planted in your head, and you can go back and you can find things that you can work into your wardrobe today. And I mentioned this before, marls are nothing new, and but right now it's like, oh, marls are the new thing, right? Nothing new. Look at this. This is called marble. I love this, and it is marled 4-ply cotton. Well, 4-ply cotton and Summer Light Fine would be comparable, and I'm just going to look up and see what kinds of colors might be put together for this. I think this would be a great top. I would of course make it a little bit longer. I don't really want to have the my midriff showing, but look at the detail on that sleeve. There are buttons on the sleeve. Isn't that cool? I just, again, something that I probably looked at the time. Maybe, I don't know, back in the day, maybe I wasn't, back in 2007, I'm thinking back, I was, there was other things occupying my time more than knitting back then. So maybe that's why I didn't knit so much. There's some great designs in here now. I did an Instagram live, and I sort of went through this magazine commenting on all the designs that I love. You can find that on Instagram, or the link to the blog down below in the notes below this video. So that's where you'll find all that information. Okay, so yep, last thing about this knit experience and Stash Happy 2020. So I'm getting really serious about sable. I don't know who actually came up with that term, sable, stash acquisition beyond life expectancy. And I am going to be listing yarns on my Ravelry for sale or trade page. So for example, I've got a bunch of shades of Summer Tweed, and I bought them to do a design, a cafe design called, I think it was called Kazakhstan. And I've decided I'm never going to knit it. It's not, I've lost interest. They're not the entire original shades for that, so I'm not saying it's a yarn pack for that design. But I've got 23 skeins of Summer Tweed, and it's on my Ravelry for sale or trade page. It's a really good price. All you have to do is pay your shipping, I figure, on top of the price. I feel that's the best way. I don't like to include shipping, because even shipping in Canada can be quite wildly different from local to BC, and so why put a price on shipping? Shipping to you would be added on. So please check out my Ravelry for sale or trade page. Okay, so next, a new project. Okay, new project. I've been wanting to try Creative Linen for a while, and then I decided that this year was the year. So here it is, Creative Linen. It is 200 meters, 219 yards, 50% linen and 50% cotton. It's a beautiful soft handle. and it's nicely plied. It's a plied yarn. I guess, I'm not sure if plied is the word. It's got a nice twist to it. So the magazine 67 had a whole section by Lisa Richardson of crocheted garments, and this one really caught my eye. It's called Messina. I love the way the open work, and then there's a sort of a modesty panel and then more open work at the bottom. I thought if I did that, I would start the modesty panel right at my waist at the top of my jeans, and I would go up and the rest of it could be open work. I'm just such a conservative person. Anyway, that was one of the options that I was considering. And then I saw Kim's new Ravish book. This is a gorgeous book. Gosh, Kim's books are getting expensive, aren't they? Actually all good publications, the print publications are getting expensive. If you like print publications, it's worth it. Just my opinion. Anyway, so I looked at that at the Kim's publication, and there were 2 designs in here that are done in creative linen. So I've got the crochet Messina option. I've got the baubles and lace option here in it's called Neri in Ravish, and I've also got Naya, absolutely plain stocking stitch, oversized sleeves, turtleneck. Well, call me silly, but I immediately thought of, and you're gonna laugh, Diane Keaton. And what was the heck was the name of that movie that she was in with Jack Nicholson? I have to go look it up. Okay, I looked it up. It's Something's Gotta Give with Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and she wears a turtleneck even at the beach, and he makes a comment on it, and I've never forgotten that. It really struck me, and I think I just love that whole image of being on the beach and in your white jeans and a beautiful loose turtleneck. Hers isn't so loose, but she's a teeny little thing. That's not the look I'm going for. Anyway, so that image, that that vision in my imagination, and the fact that my brain just can't seem to handle too much right now. It's all, I've got COVID brain, I got COVID hair, I got COVID brain, and I really just like to knit something plain and simple. You know, the stripes in this and the actual increases and decrease were enough for me. I wanted something like that. So that meant that this one. So then came the decision, what color was I going to do it in? I love the idea of the head to toe neutral, but it's not the best thing for me. So I looked at the colors, and here they are here. And I decided that teal, there's actually no blue here. Oasis is a really dark green. Teal is a blue green. And so I decided to go with teal. And that's why I ended up with this. So I've started, and I'm very excited about it. It's working up to a lovely handle, a lovely feel. This, if you will believe, is a sleeve. So this is going to be quite a big sleeve. It's a 10-inch arm scythe. I don't know, we'll have to see when I get there. I trust Kim. Don't you trust Kim? I trust Kim. I trust Kim that this will work out. So this is my latest project. More on that next time. Hopefully you might actually see me sitting here or wearing it. So cheers. Here's to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody. And in celebration of that, I'm going to have a 1K subscriber giveaway. And I have 2 prizes here. One of them is from Rowan, and I think you're going to like this. Oh, before I get to the prizes, let's talk about what you have to do for the prizes. During this video, I have inserted 3 very brief questions. They might appear along the bottom, they might appear in the top, they're just going to appear. And if you answer those questions in a comment below, and only comments below this video on YouTube will be eligible for the draw. So if you answer all 3 questions in one message, fine, you get 3 entries. If you answer your questions individual comments, that's fine too. So there will be 3 questions that I will ask. One will be really simple, one will be something that you have to input, and one might be a little bit more obscure. I'm still actually working on the questions as I'm sitting here talking to you. The 3 questions will get you entries into the draw. So from me, from my personal Stash Happy organization, and looking at what I'm going to be able to manage to knit sable in my life expectancy, I have pulled out 10 balls of hand knit cotton in this beautiful, it's called, let me just find the color, got my shade cart right here, it's called Ice Water number 239. It's a beautiful blue. And why I pulled this out is because Quail Studio on the Rowan website made this top, the diamond top, a free download. So this yarn pack is enough yarn to create this diamond top in all of the sizes. So that is going to be a prize from me. Now, when I asked Rowan to contribute, they were really great about, they sent me this. This is the Rowan Island Blend Fine. This is the fine version of the Falkland Island Blend yarn. This is an absolutely gorgeous yarn. Let me just find the shade card for you. It's Falkland Island merino, fine merino wool, baby alpaca, and silk. This is a new yarn this year, and as you can see, it comes in some beautiful colors. And they sent me, hold on till gotta get it out of the bag and show it to you in its wonderful glory. Isn't this gorgeous? And look at it with my flowers. It's absolutely beautiful. This color is called Jellyfish, and they have sent 10 skeins of Island Blend, and I have to thank Rowan. That is super generous of you. 10 skeins in this beautiful Rowan gauze bag, along with the Island Blend design collection book. So this is going to be the main prize, and my hand knit cotton from my stash will be the follow-up prize. So if you want to be entered in the draw, and let me think, when will I do the draw? August 1st. So that gives, this is the 21st, so August 1st, a little bit over a week. So August 1st, I will do the draw. Anybody who's answered the questions that I've posed during this right here, this video blog, okay? So I'm thinking of the questions, okay? So have fun with it. There probably are no right and there are no wrong, sorry. Have fun with it. There are probably going to be no wrong answers, just to make it fun. I hope if you like my video blog, that you like and subscribe to this channel. I would love it if you'd refer me to other friends of yours that you maybe know that like Rowan. If you've got someone you can recommend me to, that would be great. I would appreciate that very much too. So thank you again for coming with me along on this ride. I'm going to continue. I like talking to myself, so if anybody's listening out there, it only makes it better. Thank you. And so until next time, happy knitting.